Well, I've been testing formally since 2000. Informally since 1985, because I was one of the first beta testers for IBM email system. We're talking, with the computer the way it was, with a tape and a phone that you plugged into a cradle. That connected to the computer. And so that's when I started the love affair of testing, because it was like, oh, this is interesting. I like being able to find things. That's the key about testing for me, is investigation and to learn what's really going on with testing. So that's where I started. And then I worked for an automated testing tool for OS2. And so that was in the 80s, and I met my mentor there, who was originally worked for IBM as a software developer. And I still keep in touch with him on a regular basis, because honestly, I rely on his point of view, even to this day. And he said to me, oh, well, you've gone so far with your testing career. You've really blossomed to places that I've never been, I did mobile testing for many years.
Nice.
I did testing for a multi-tiered system for a publisher in the early 2000s. And then I went to medical device, I take that back. I went to Los Angeles Police Department. What they did was they have a device that police officers ride around with a ticket generator. So if they stop somebody, they could produce a speeding ticket right then and there. I tested that system.
Nice.
And so you can blame me if you get a ticket in LA. Because I trained the officers as well on how to use it.
Nice.
And then from there, I went to medical device testing. And that was where I really learned about embedded testing. And I learned about testing the system, not necessarily testing just the software that's on your device or in your face, on the computer. And that's the thing that I want to stress in general. System testing is important. Testers need to understand you're doing system testing, not just software testing.
Great, awesome. Yeah.
Because a lot of times what people think about, when they think testing, they're just testing the application. And as I've described to you many times, is that hardware conditions and firmware conditions, or operating system conditions, affect the software itself, the software behavior. So I have many stories about different types of behavior that I found. One of the stories that I found in particular was the device would get so hot because, when you're dealing with a phone, you've got a very small phone, right, and small casing. And when you're charging the phone, it heats up the battery. Well, guess what's next to the battery? The cell modem. So the cell modem can actually burn out just by using the software. So you're charging and you're using the software, you're heating up the entire device. And so what ends up happening is that, of course, you can lose the entire device. But the sad part is, when you're dealing with a medical device system, you can hurt somebody if they're using that device for medical conditions. And I was working on a heart monitor back in 2006 through 2007 through 2011. And that was a great learning experience. I cherish it very much, but I worked a lot of hours. And I spent a lot of time isolating conditions, isolating problems, because I had 6 different applications all working at the same time to produce the data that the doctor could use to diagnose what was happening with the heart of a patient. So when we found an error, what would end up happening was that, the error appeared in this application. So, something's wrong with this application. But I learned the hard way that you have to isolate, because I wasted a developer's time for 2 days because I assumed it was what in front of me on the device, and it was not. And that's really important for testers to understand. You have to take the time to isolate what is really happening. So this is something that I think testers don't take the time to do. And when we have automation testing, people are always trying to hurry. And yes, automation is good. A lot of people think I hate automation. That is incorrect information or assumption. I like automation. The problem is to plan out your automation appropriately. There are times for exploratory testing in particular, you really need to learn what is happening when. The sequence of behavior is really important to understand. I spent a lot of hours reading log files and understanding, okay, I did this and this. Look at the log file. Oh, this and this and this happened. Oh, compare the two, and I could find a lot of problems. I found a lot of memory leaks this way.
Awesome.
Yeah,